This is Midweek Politics with Dave Pakman.
Hey, welcome back to Midweek Politics. David Pakman here with you. A few new stations this week. WUOW in I don't know if it's Oneonta or Oneonta, New York, is back airing the show. They used to air the show. They stopped. They're back on. We're thrilled to have them back. Also in New York State, upstate New York, WITC at Cazenovia College. We're thrilled to be on there. However, sadly, we lost a station this week, and we can't always add them. Sometimes you will lose them. KITC is gone in Oregon. Too many complaints is what I was told, and I'm trying to figure out the nature of the complaints. I would love to hear it. For some reason, I think a clue as to the nature of the complaints is going to be the fact that the name of the town in Oregon is called Gilchrist. That probably explains everything. I don't know that we need more explanation.
We might be onto something.
Okay. What else do I want to mention here? A great article in a local paper here, the Springfield Republican, about the show came out this week. If you go to masslive.com and just type in Midweek Politics, you'll see the article. The only thing is it says that I'm a soft-spoken radio person. Is that true? I think it was honestly.
Well, everything's relative.
I guess it is. I think what it was is that it was just really loud where we met to do the interview with Matt, who wrote the article, and that it just sounded like I was soft spoken because it was so loud in there.
Right. I mean, I think you're obnoxious.
Exactly, and that seems to be the common thing. Okay, emails: radio@midweekpolitics.com, radio@midweekpolitics.com. Last week we had Mike McHugh on, who favors a Christian homeschooling curriculum. He said I offended him after I made, I guess, a sarcastic comment about Jesus. I admit it. A few emails about that. Wow, such delusion. Science examines reality. Get over it. Welcome to 2010, Mike. Also, you didn't say anything offensive. This guy is just nuts. And it's easy to offend people who make a practice of imposing their bizarre, unsubstantiated beliefs upon everyone that they talk to. We also spoke with Pennsylvania Congressman Joe Sestak last week. People had a lot to say about his healthcare vote. At the forefront, screw Sestak. It's not about what he believes about healthcare. It's about what the people who elected him believe. Healthcare better pass. It did. And every Democrat that votes it down should be replaced. And lastly, about me saying on a recent show, apparently, that I am not a registered Democrat and I'm not a registered Republican, but that I'm an independent. This is what I have a problem with independence. I guess he meant it. Let me read it the way it should have been written. I apologize. This is why I have a problem with independents. In my opinion, you're cowards. Yes, I'm a registered Democrat and I'm proud of my party. Are they perfect? No, but at least they stand for something. Independents, what do you stand for? You can sit back and bitch about both parties and be accountable to none. Where are your convictions? You just want your cake and to eat it too, under the guise of not being responsible for any of it. I agree 100%. That's exactly what I want. I don't want to be associated with either party. And I want to be able to complain about both and not be responsible for either.
What better position for a radio personality?
Listen, at least I vote, right, Lewis? I mean, you're not. Are you even registered to vote at this point? This is an ongoing thing.
Didn't we go over this a few times?
Is it worse to be an independent or simply not to vote? I vote. At least I'm showing I'm making my decisions that way.
Right. I suppose it's more important to vote. As long as you're voting, clearly, if you're voting and taking part in the process, you believe in something.
Well, I'm voting, and I certainly believe in the whole thing. Next week, interesting guest next week. If you've seen the movie Breach about this a CIA operative that was selling secrets to the KGB, Robert Hansen, the guy who in the movie was played by Ryan Philippe is based on a real-life person called Eric O'Neill. Eric O'Neill will be joining us live to talk about whether he was afraid that Hansen would shoot him and how the entire sting operation and what was the biggest mole in U.S. CIA history was caught. Also, we'll be figuring out what's going on with the way some politicians are dressing and what's the campaign strategy behind some of the outfits. And hopefully we'll get some reasoning as to just why on earth Hillary Clinton is wearing those pantsuits. We'll see. Anything to add on that, Lewis? You wanted to jump in.
No.
Thanks for listening. Midweekpolitics.com is the website. We will see you next week.
Midweek Politics with Dave Pakman on midweekpolitics.com.
Midweek Politics is brought to you in part by Jackson & Connor, classically modern men's apparel in Northampton, Massachusetts on the second floor of Thorne's Marketplace, and by DIF Design, specializing in custom business websites at difdesign.com. To find out more about underwriting Midweek Politics, visit midweekpolitics.com.